Hey everybody, welcome back to I Know a Guy. I'm Anthony, and this is the podcast where connections thrive. Each episode, we spotlight inspiring entrepreneurs, professionals, and individuals doing amazing things. Together, we'll grow your circle, spark collaborations, and discover new opportunities. Today, we're meeting Elena Torres, owner of Torres Co Health Plans LLC, a full-service health insurance brokerage dedicated to helping individuals under 65 find the perfect health, dental, and vision coverage. Elena's mission is to make navigating health insurance simple and accessible for everyone. How are you doing today, Elena?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. We're both getting over some colds. So, everybody out there just has
Yeah,
to bear with us. I think I'm doing a little bit better than you. I'm on my way out. You said you're just starting to feel it.
I'm just starting to feel the way out. Yep. This is
Yeah.
what I get for taking a vacation.
Yeah, how dare you? Right? Normally it's overwork that makes you sick, not vacation, but yeah, you'll get it both sides.
Yes.
But awesome. Well, yeah, I loved our conversation that we had a while ago, and I wanted to have you on because you're helping people do, important stuff that people need guidance on, and there's a lot of questions around the space. So having an expert come in and share with us is super, super valuable. So to start off, where are you located? Where are you calling in from?
Yeah, I am in Denver, Colorado.
Awesome. How long have you been there? You like newer to the area? You a lifer?
So I've been here for about 12 years, originally from Montana.
Awesome. Okay. Well, if somebody's never been, let's say you have some friends coming into town that have never been there, where are you taking them? What are you doing? And where are you going to eat?
So I have a kind of a routine now because I have several out-of-state family and friends come and visit, and I usually take them to the same spots because they just never fail. I take them to Fat Sully's Pizza, and then I take them to Machete Tacos or Denver Biscuit Company. So I have my places for food that we go to, and then I usually take them on a little mountain drive, around town, and yeah, we just go explore.
I gotcha. Awesome. Why those places? Like, is there something that like stands out that you're like it's Colorado not typically known for the best, being top tier pizza, but like what about it's the kind of saying this is where we're going?
So they have the best cauliflower crust, in my
Mm.
opinion. It's amazing. I'm gluten free, so I need that. But before I was gluten free, that crust in their pizza, unmatched. It's so good. Their spicy ranch, it's amazing. And then machete tacos, my family owned a Mexican restaurant for 60 plus years, and I'm very picky when it comes to my Mexican food. And these tacos are so good. Their guac is amazing. So yeah, no, I go to my tried and trues.
So being so picky, what sets like your average just I got this at a restaurant taco versus like this is legit.
Well, I feel like some places forget seasonings. There's that, or they add really weird ingredients that just don't need to be there. So yeah, it just, keep it simple, keep it seasoned, and make it look pretty, and that's really what you need. And I feel like some places just really fall short.
Yeah, some places will give you like Wonder Bread slathered with mayonnaise. You call it a taco, and you're like, "That's a taco." I'm sorry, you need a
Yeah.
little bit
Actually,
more.
I'm not hungry anymore. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, no, I'm gluten free now. I'm not eating that. So there you
Yeah,
go. Hey,
exactly. Exactly.
awesome. So what can you tell us about what you do?
So I help everybody under the age of 65, well, for the most part, under the age of 65, help them find a health insurance policy. Or if they already have a health insurance policy, but they might need dental, vision, some supplemental just to kind of round out their coverage, make sure there's no gaps. Because I don't think that people will oftentimes take a look back and make sure that there are not any gaps in that coverage. And sometimes when they're like, hey, I just had this thing happen, I just figured out that I didn't have this coverage for a hospital stay. Can you help me? And in most cases, it's yes. So there's, exclusions to everything. But yeah.
Okay, I got you. So you're in the health insurance space. How did you get there? There's nobody that I've ever met, and you could be the exception, that was in high school and you're like, "Hey, what are you gonna do when you grow up?" And they're like, "Health insurance." So what brought you there?
Yeah, so I have a 13-year background in the medical field. I was a CNA. I definitely was not the nursing home CNA. I hated that from the core of my being. So I wanted something different. I've always been able to make that be different. I worked in surgeons' offices. At one point, I was doing everything but the surgeries. I was scheduling, patient education, helping with things in the office, and then I did take a brief period away from everything patient-centered, and I went and did insurance verification, which I thought was going to be something interesting. Um, wasn't the right move for me, but I had to stay there for a little bit longer before I could transfer back out, and I was able to learn a lot. And at that time, I didn't think that that was ever going to lead anywhere. I thought that was just a weird blip in my timeline of life. And then I went and worked in the hospitals for about the next 6 to 7 years, and really was wanting something different after that time frame. I was kind of burnt out on being in the hospitals. After COVID and everything, it just really took a toll. And I wanted something medical adjacent. I wanted my medical background to go towards something because you don't work a career that long and still know nothing. You learn so much information, and I was able to find being a health insurance broker, which I didn't even know existed until I started exploring this as a possible option for me. Um, and I just decided that this was going to be it for me. I kind of jumped in with both feet and has been just running my little butt off ever since. So, and it's been the best leap of faith I've ever taken on my life.
That's awesome. So what do you tell those people that like they don't know health insurance brokers, exist for one, and they know
Yeah.
they need health insurance, they know they need help, but maybe they go, I can't afford a health insurance broker if they've even heard of it. What do you tell those people?
Well, my services are free. I don't charge for my services. The insurance companies pay me. So even if you just want to have somebody that's licensed, that understands insurance in and out, to sit down with you and make sure that your policy is meeting the standards that you need, is covering the things, and making sure that there's going to be a comprehensive plan in place for them that isn't going to fall short when they need it. And that's when I come in and I'm able to assess, I'm able to give recommendations on other potential policies, and then I'm able to, help them eventually get signed up for that plan, whether that be in that moment or down the line when the timeline matches up a little bit better. Because I take an educational approach with all of my clients. I make sure that they understand all of the details that they will need to know to make a good plan. I make sure that they understand what a premium is, what a deductible is, what the heck's a co-insurance, what's a copay. I make sure that they understand all of these keywords so they can make an informed decision on what plan they need.
Yeah, and I think that's important because, like you said, you didn't know what it was. There's people out
Mhm.
there that think, they might have misconceptions or misunderstandings about all of this stuff, and they know they need help, and they think they're not able to get help because they think it's like a premium. No, you get paid by the insurance company. You want to talk to as many people as possible. It's your job to help them. So I think that's an important
Mhm.
distinction a lot of people need to realize. But what do you think your favorite thing is about what you're doing? You said that this has been the best thing that you've done, but what is it about it that really, structure, gets that passion?
It's self-led by me. I am not being poked and prodded by a normal sales team where it's like, you have to meet this quota, you have to do this, you have to do that. It is very much what you get out of it is what you put into it. And it's very rewarding in that way for me. It's also super rewarding when I'm able to connect with my clients in a more personal way. We find some common ground. We're able to be collaborative in finding them a policy and making sure that we are doing the right thing by them. And most of the time, I'm talking to like a large family or somebody that's like, hey, I think I'm paying too much for my plan. I feel like I'm kind of getting raked over the coals here. Can you help me? And it feels really good to be the one that says, no, you are really overpaying. Let's get you something better. And having that all line up and fall into place just really beautifully is so rewarding because not only are they getting a better policy, but they're saving money in the process. That's a win-win. And when I'm able to do that for more than just one person, it feels really good to know that I'm bettering somebody's life and their financial situation.
Absolutely. Um, you're an entrepreneur, you're self-employed, you get to make all the decisions yourself. And like you said, you stepped into it, you're like, I love this. But what are some of the hard-won lessons that you would advise others, coming into their entrepreneur journey or people considering becoming entrepreneurs, in whatever industry, or that you would go back in time if you could and just tell yourself, hey, look out, this is coming your way.
Yeah, I would say having negative people in your life, I feel like that was a really big influence for me. Having people that didn't believe in me, And I didn't believe in myself because I was having that negative influence. That when I went through what every entrepreneur goes through was as a lull in business is when things kind of take a nosedive or go down, not in a way that you would like. And making sure that you surround yourself with positive people that actually support you, whether they understand what you do or not, their support means everything. And also just having the um, motivation, the self-worth to know that, like, no, this is what I'm doing and I know I'm good at it and I love what I do. So you have to put aside the negative people, you have to put aside your own negative thoughts because it will eat you alive. And I've learned that firsthand. I've learned that the hard way. So being able to separate myself from that and move on is been so phenomenal for my business.
That's great advice. It's something that a lot of us run into. So awesome.
Yeah.
What is the avatar of like your average client, or better yet, what are some pain points that people might be dealing with that if they're going through XYZ, you're the person they should be talking to?
Yeah. So the biggest thing is like who I help is I really try to focus on 1099 population. That is really where, and families, because with a 1099 person, if they're just solo, they only need to plan for themselves, they're not married, don't have kids, they should be getting they should have those options to know that they don't have just the marketplace. There are other options out there for them, and being able to educate them on what the difference is and kind of giving the proverbial pros and cons list of either plans really comes in to help. And especially with families, when their needs might be different, one person might need a really robust plan because they have a lot going on medically, but then everybody else doesn't have anything and they're all fine. Helping people get to the understanding of, like, sometimes it's better to do a split policy, or sometimes it is better to move people here or there, move people around to make it, for one, affordable, and two, giving them the best option at having coverage that's really going to fit what they need. And I run into families a lot where the husband works, the wife is at home with the kids, and the employer that employs the husband only covers their premium, but not the family's. So I often find myself having to just deal with the wife and kids, and the husband's fine. They should stay on their job's coverage. And just being able to kind of be that problem solver, that puzzle solver, because sometimes it is kind of fitting together a couple puzzle pieces to make sure that people are getting what they need.
Absolutely, yeah. All super valuable things that more people need to know they have available to them.
Yeah.
What's your average power partner look like? What are other industries or other professionals that you synergize well with, or that you're able to find collaboration working with?
Yeah, it's financial advisors are my number one because they are typically the ones asking the questions, do you have health insurance? And they're the ones that are able to, because without me being there, they are asking those questions. So it's financial advisors first and foremost, mortgage lenders if that's a part of their initial consultation, qualifying information with their clients, and CPAs. Those are huge. Anyone that deals with that financial side of things and life insurance agents, but usually life insurance agents and financial advisors are one and the same. But yeah, those are kind of my top three.
Okay. What should individuals under 65 look for when choosing the right health insurance plan?
Yeah, they should be looking at a couple key components. One is making sure the plans have an out-of-pocket maximum. That secures your financial situation from not deteriorating because of a claim. If a plan does not have an out-of-pocket maximum, it is not full coverage. Okay. Second is knowing that what your deductible is, knowing that that is the benchmark you'll need to meet prior to that insurance paying for any of your services. There might be a couple copays, there might be things like that, but in the bulk of things, you have to meet that deductible first. So knowing what that is, also knowing what your network is. So if you are seeing a doctor that is out of network and your plan doesn't have out of network benefits, you're going to probably not be too happy when you receive a huge bill because you went out of network. So understanding your network, also understanding what your exclusions are in the plan, because every plan has them. They're different for every plan, but knowing how to operate within the confines of your plan and just knowing what it covers and what it doesn't is going to give people peace of mind.
Okay. How can working with a health insurance broker simplify finding dental and vision coverage?
It helps a lot because you're able to get access to plans that maybe aren't available online. And the nice part about going through a broker is that, at least for myself, the dental and vision plans that I have are not something that just cancel after a year. That's your plan for the rest of your life or until you're 65 or when you don't need it anymore. So if like you're 1099, but now things have switched up a little bit, now you have a W-2 and then they pay for all of that, cool, just cancel it. Doesn't make sense for you to keep it anymore. But if they're the business life for life, then we can definitely get them on something that's going to protect them and they won't have to worry about re-upping a plan every year like through the marketplace and meeting waiting periods for dental work only to find the plan is canceled now. So, yeah, it just helps save some of that frustration.
Absolutely. What are the common mistakes that you're seeing people make when they're selecting their health insurance plans?
Um, the biggest thing I hear is that, oh, well, I didn't know that nothing would be covered until my deductibles met. They're like, I have this plan, it's not covering anything. And more often than not, I find that they have selected like a catastrophic plan because it has the cheapest premium. And when that usually means that it's a high deductible and the deductible and out of pocket are the same value. So, for just an example, they're both $8,000. That means nothing is covered, not even a doctor's office visit until that 8,000 is met. And they didn't understand what they were getting. They just thought oh yeah, I have insurance, I'm fine, I'll just have like a copay. And they don't take the time to look through some of the details because they don't know to. They just have always had that done for them, or that's just never something that they've been that taught to do. And that is one of the biggest things, is usually because they wanted to do it themselves, which is fine. But then we end up back to where we were, where they're like, what the heck, nothing's covered. I thought I had insurance.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. And
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. And that's why I try to take that educational approach. So people don't feel like they have to be the health insurance expert. Leave that to me. And if I don't have an answer, I will find it for you. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And the people that insist on doing it themselves, I think they're doing it because they misunderstand, like we said before, your role. It's not meant to take anything away from them or cost them. It's meant to supplement their own stuff. So leading with education, saying, I understand you want to be as involved in this as possible. Let me guide you through it so that we don't make obvious mistakes that you might, you slip up. It's not something you want to risk. So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, is there anything that I missed or failed to ask that you wanted to add?
No, no, I will say that I also help some small businesses. Like I stick to businesses that have about less than 10 employees because I can usually come in and save them a bunch of money. And with individual policies instead of a group plan, people usually are happier because they have that peace of mind that, like, hey, I'm not paying for Jim's plan because he's super unhealthy. My name's Sally Sue and I'm super healthy. Why am I paying for his plan too? Because that's essentially what a group policy is they spread the risk across. But yeah, I'm passionate about what I do and educating people so they don't end up with those denied claims that we keep hearing about in the news. And because oftentimes it is something that is totally avoidable.
Right. For people that want to know more, or have some questions, or just would like help, right? Like a lot
Yeah.
out there. How can they find you? Where can they get a hold of you at?
Yeah, so I am on all the social media. So on TikTok and Instagram, and Facebook, I am just Torres Co Health Plans. And then yeah, just find me and we'll connect. And on my Instagram and my Facebook page, I have my link tree, and you can request a consultation with me, and my phone number is listed there too. And yeah, I'm happy to help anybody who reaches out.
Perfect. I absolutely recommend you do that. With health insurance and stuff, it's frustrating. It's complicated. If it's not your area of expertise, it can kind of be a little bit overwhelming, and you don't have to do that. Reach out to somebody, have that conversation. You're gonna be better off by having it, even if you feel like, okay, this just kind of reaffirmed my thoughts. Now you know for sure there wasn't a gap there. So absolutely have that conversation. Reach out. I'm gonna put all of your stuff in the show notes so people don't have to hunt for it. We'll make it super, super easy. If anybody out there would like to get a hold of me, you can find me at ikag.me. You can find more episodes, subscribe to our newsletter, connect with our awesome growing community. If somebody you know would like to be interviewed or yourself, feel free to reach out to me as well. You can apply on the website. But thanks again so much for coming on, taking the time. I know you're getting over the sickness. I get it, but coming on, being a trooper, getting through it, it's awesome. There's so much that people need to know that they don't know, and it's awesome that there's people out there like you that are willing to sit there and say, hey, let's educate you a little bit, and let's make sure that what we're doing is going to match your goals. So that's awesome.
Exactly.
Let's all
Yeah,
go.
well, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Let's have an awesome day and then grow our circle, all right?